Dracula and Frankenstein's monster to Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees, the masses have always flocked in droves to see a well-done horror villain dice up some unsuspecting people. And over the last decade, a new contender chiseled out his own bloody spot upon the scary movie Mount Rushmore. The mute menace with a bag of tricks to rival Santa Claus.
I'm not gonna tell you again!
Arttheclown. Now wearing the crown of biggest unrated box office success under his tiny little hat, I too wanted to find out what's the deal with this fucking guy. Way back in the ancient year of 2006, writer-director Damien Leone first premiered this wacky white weirdo in his short film The Ninth Circle, followed by another short, Terrifier, in 2011. Then producer Jesse Baguette saw Art's clownin' content.
Oh my god! Oh, no, this a good one. This a good one!
And thought it'd be perfect in some kind of anthology flick. Leone then heard wind of this and basically said,
I like your plan, except it sucks, so let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.
Saying he'd do everything himself. Acting as a one-man band, or lone artist, Damien used a special edition version of The Ninth Circle for the first story, an extremely unoriginal shot for this movie, Alien Invasion middle chapter, and the Terrifier himself closing the film. All wrapped around in the frame narrative of a babysitter watching these on a tape, which you're now watching me watch. Oh god. So grab your greatest gag gear and goofiest gun as we try and understand the seedlings of what became a killer so crazy he makes all the classics look like widow tiny babies. This is All Hallows Eve. We drop in on the most demonic of nights to see a house decorated with a single square of orange lights, dollar store decals, and a single, maybe real pumpkin, while the neighbors' houses look like the abandoned Myers house.
Get your ass away from there.
The occupants of the pad are these two generically costumed children and single red-headed babysitter played by Katie Maguire.
Fine, I'll put it back on.
Sarah turns off Night of the Living Dead, because why wouldn't we be playing that? It's public domain, so, you know.
Duh.
Parents owe me for this one.
Right from the start, the acting is horrendous, and they act like aliens mimicking human conversation.
Get the hell up. I'm not done counting my candy, loser.
Hello, fellow human.
Jesus Christ, you're 10 years old. What do you watch on the internet?
I too like soup.
Oh, this is retarded.
Retarded.
As shown, the boy found an unmarked VHS tape in his bag and doesn't react with a swift, "What kind of candy is this?"
What is that? It's a videotape.
But they really want to watch the tape, blurring the lines of a VHS sequel. Get out of here. And the beautiful babysitter gives in.
Timmy, you're not watching it.
Baba Booey.
Fine, but you have to go in the other room. I need to see what's on it first.
However, she's got to vet the thing, in case it was something the kid actually found under his parents' bed. After a few flashy foreshadowing images, the videotape visualizes with a lone lady at a train station, sitting across from some silent psycho. Arttheclown in his feature film debut is not played by the same guy from his solo outings.
Aw, jeez.
This movie's mime is Mike Giannelli, wearing the Joker's gestures. Hate to say it, but getting David Howard Thornton for future movies was the right move. Mike's not bad, but doesn't nearly have the same effortless eeriness.
I'm gonna post this. You guys, seriously, you killed it. It's awesome.
The little ass is seduced with a rose, but this putrid pickup artist just goes for a hot Cosby instead. And as she falls into his deadlights, she awakens chained up with two other poor bitches.
My name's Jeff. Where am I?
One of them is then dragged away into the sewers by an unseen force, but it's no hero in a half shell, or sewer clown as a matter of fact.
You're supposed to say 3.
The monsters of this short are satanic cultist freaks, because of course they are.
Why not?
That look like the cannibals from Hills Have Eyes force-fucked the Cenobites and dark crystal creatures. Our nameless protagonist, I guess, is dragged into the mess as well to see this gross baby birth. As well as Satan, who looks just like Tim Curry's twin if he hung out with Cheech and Chong. And we must have run out of money because the short just ends, and we return to the other characters, whose only contribution is the occasional look of distress in a reaction shot every so often.
Babysitting on Halloween night? That's just asking for trouble.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's already been quite an eventful evening.
She shuffles the kids off to bed, whose bedrooms don't at all look like a goddamn hotel room. And the curious babe can't help but go back for more terrible tape.
Is my tape in there?
No?
All three segments of the movie have nearly the exact same, identical plot line. It's Halloween, maybe, and a single woman is attacked by things. Sometimes it's a clown, sometimes it's fucking Black Manta from Aquaman, and then Art does a little honk. It really doesn't have much finesse. Anyways, the second segment follows another lady all by herself in this empty house when suddenly a G-dang UFO crashes outside. Which we never see because we ain't exactly got Spielberg money. But before the broad knows it, this extraterrestrial asshole is inside, swaying all around like a drunken dancer. Gotta admire his confidence. Someone get him on a karaoke machine. She eventually stabs it and seems to have the upper ground, but this dude in a scuba costume so crappy even Roger Corman would condemn it.
You should not show the monster too much because you're working with the audience's unconscious, and there's nothing you can build, or put it another way, there's nothing I can build on my budgets that are going to be equal to what the audience can create in their own mind.
But this dude in a decides to get some action going since we've spent the whole short slowly creeping around the crib.
Gotcha, bitch!
Caroline, can you hear me? Police are coming. Caroline!
I feel like I've been to funerals with better pacing. So finishing up this middle chapter that certainly ain't no Empire Strikes Back, there's a random painting of Arttheclown covered by a sheet.
It's also the poster image.
Yeah, whatever, but does that mean he's, like, in this too? Now I wonder if it's just him under that cheap suit. The last chapter in this crummy chronology is this grindhouse reject in the OG Terrifier.
You out of your fucking mind?
Once again, we witness a girl get stalked and sliced into Swiss cheese because she accidentally crossed paths with this butchering bozo. She stops off for gas, and we get the most "this was written on a napkin" conversation about her being a costume designer. Who cares?
You think you just piss all over the place and smear your shit on the walls?
Art smeared poopy on the walls.
So that guy really just did that to your bathroom?
I don't care if they fire me, I'm not picking up someone else's shit.
I'll give him this one. He is a clown, and poop jokes are always funny.
But it's not the poop, it's the mystery behind the poop.
The gas guy gets the gooner to go.
Hey, a man has fallen into the river in Lego City.
And as he rides off into the night, he swings back to recreate his favorite scene from Return of the Living Dead.
Be a man, Frank, be a man!
But she doesn't find the humor in it, and splits. Driving through the woods, she calls for help, but seeing the worst homicidal hitchhiker outside a Texas Chainsaw movie makes me have to ask, is Art a demon or what? For starters, his look changes, not from movie to movie, but during this one. In the Ninth Circle, he looks like Steve-O's college days, but by the time he's at the gas station, his face looks like he's gotten caught up in a Looney Tunes frying pan fight. It's probably just because, as mentioned, this is mostly a clip show of Leone's work, filmed over different years. But it's these two clips that make me question otherwise. Now Pennywise, who in comparison is so ineffective, fake ass bitch, is known for morphing his big ol' melon around, and we see Art flash his headlights here. Then we see that painting in segment 2, and it makes me think, Arttheclown is an omnipotent, godlike being that only exists to pop in and out of slasher movies to kill people. Like, he ceases to exist when the movie's over, and only returns when the body count needs adding to.
Can we not talk about cereal?
But that's just a theory.
An art theory. Speaking of which, she flees again after finding another lady turned into hamburger helper and locks herself away in a shed for a while. Until Art erupts from the soil to continue the chase.
Oh, hello there!
Dude's just built different. I don't know. He begins to whip the woman with weapons that probably have AIDS.
AIDS? Nobody's got AIDS. I don't want to hear that word here again.
And after a few return blows, take down the creepy Krusty. Some dumb Poindexter-looking fiddlestick makes the terrible choice to pick her up.
Hey, are you okay?
Because that just revives Art, who pulls up alongside with a fucking gun. Again, unlike nearly every big slasher icon before him, Art will use whatever, however, for however long he feels like. She wakes up in absolute agony as Art's taken off all her limbs and carved words into her body like he's Freddy in Dream Warriors. Awesome. This is my biggest problem with the first couple Terrifiers. Before we introduced Sienna and Terrifier 2, none of these stories have any characters to root for because they're maimed mere minutes after being brought up. For example, as we wind down this awful anthology, Sarah begins seeing Artie Bucco tap on the TV screen like he's cosplaying the Ring Girl. But as we've seen since the first frame, we don't exactly have the budget for all that fancy hoopla. So the slasher just appears in the real world and has killed the kiddos off screen and turned them into effects you'd find in an old Goosebumps episode. The end? And that was All Hallows Eve, I believe. But trying to not sound any more like Dr. Seuss, this one doesn't need much recap. It's pretty fucking bad. With only a few momentary glimpses of fun sprinkled throughout a mostly dull and bland bore fest, full of all your zero-budget movie staples. Bad sets, even worse acting, jilted writing.
Jesus Christ, you're 10 years old. What do you watch on the internet?
Runtime padding beyond belief, with every scene using every single available frame. I like the origin of Art, even if this isn't considered canon anymore. Who knows? And the sparse gore effects are fun for what they are, because Art's antics are the only mildly interesting thing to grab from this garbage. I'm going to give All Hallows Eve. I'm Confused Reviews. Thanks for watching.
Retarded.
Retarded?